Right, so it's officially confirmed. Splinter Cell remake is in the works. A lot of people seem to be excited about it. A lot of people not so optimistic. But my opinion is that this could probably be the best thing that could happen to the Splinter Cell franchise, and I'll tell you exactly why. So, obviously, we started hitting a bit of a crossroads with Splinter Cell and its identity, and that was round about the time when Conviction had came out, and then it was kind of moving away from being a stealth game to a stealth action game, and by doing that, it kind of divided the fan base. Now, a lot of people that play Splinter Cell for stealth are going to be annoyed with the action elements, and the people that like action are going to kind of be slightly interested in Splinter Cell because they can play it like it's a fast-paced shooter. But to me, Splinter Cell, it is supposed to be a stealth game. It's meant to be played slow. It's meant to be strategic. Bringing in this mark and execute stuff, and it's just Splinter Cell just kind of lost its way. And then obviously we got Blacklist, and Blacklist, I mean, it wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't the best game either. Although the gameplay was there, that game did feel pretty linear, and also it moved away from that good element that Chaos Theory had in terms of like trying to actually play through it stealthy to get the best possible score you could achieve. Like in Splinter Cell, you could go for like 100%. You've got your objectives. You don't want to set off any alarms. You don't want any bodies found. You just didn't want to be seen at all, and that's what makes a true stealth game really good. The problem with Blacklist is that it moved away from all of that, and you were just sort of going through the missions willy-nilly, and then you get your end result, which would be, well, were you a ghost, or were you a panther, or assault, and that just didn't work. But now we're getting a remake. This is a chance for Splinter Cell to go back to its roots and back to what made it great. And this won't be the first time that a stealth game has done that. Anyone who is a fan of Splinter Cell is probably also a fan of a little game called Hitman. And Hitman is the same. It does stealth, but in a different way. And yeah, Blood Money will probably be considered to be the Chaos Theory of Hitman. That's probably the fan favourite. And then years later, we got Hitman Absolution, which I would probably consider to be the Splinter Cell Blacklist of Hitman. Fans weren't happy with it. They feel the same, that it's pretty linear, and in some cases it is, in some cases it isn't. They also explored the element of point shooting, which would be Blacklist mark and execute, which I am definitely not a fan of. I am definitely not a fan of that. Move away from that. No one needs it. No one wants it. So yeah, when Absolution it came out, it definitely was not a fan favourite. That's considered to be the worst entry point in that series. So then there's kind of that thing of like, well, what do we do next? That wasn't working out very well for us. What do we do? So IO Interactive made the decision to reboot the franchise, which was probably one of the best decisions they ever made. Then we ended up with Hitman. So 2016, Hitman released, and it was a success. The game was absolutely amazing. It took what worked from Hitman Absolution and implemented it into a better format. This went back to sandbox levels. This went back to being able to tackle missions in completely different ways, different entry points. There's so many different ways to get to targets, to kill targets. Now this worked out really well, and now obviously if there's any Hitman fans out there that know, now we've got a trilogy out of it. All of 2016, and then we got Hitman 2, which came out in 2018, and then Hitman 3, which came out in 2021. All put together, all in the same format, and all under the same application, can be played throughout the same game without having to switch to Hitman 2016 or Hitman 2018. Everything is all under one roof, and it's fucking fantastic. I absolutely love the fact that I can play all three games under one application, and it all works under the same format. Amazing. And I believe that if Ubisoft are going to tackle this, if they're going to do a reboot, this will be the way to do it. If they're going for the same format, I mean, like I said, they're probably going to start off with the original, but then when they're going to do number 2, why not do what IO did and put them in the same application? If they're going for the trilogy, even better. You'll have all 3 games under one app. And like I say, when Hitman came out, it was just a breath of fresh air. This game is fantastic. I mean, I slag it off all the time, but I fucking love it, man. It's amazing. I have the most fun with it. It also destroys my soul, but I just absolutely love it, and I keep coming back. And I really feel like if Splinter Cell is going to come back, this would be the best way to do it. So sort of focus on what made the game great. Like when it comes to Chaos Theory, that's when it was really at its best. That format was just fantastic. Sort of build up on what they created with that, and really push it to the limit. Open the maps up a bit more. Make it more open. Make it more sandboxy and less linear. Multiple entry points for buildings to be able to get to your objective. I mean, or you can go through that way, but maybe you can climb on the roof, and maybe there's an air duct you can get through there, or maybe there's an open window around that corner. That kind of thing. Don't have it linear. You don't want it like that. You want multiple entry points. You want to be able to really explore maps, and I kind of feel like the way that Chaos Theory was played back in the day would really benefit from a more sandbox feel. And like I say, if they can sort of like push it mechanically, like even better than what they did back in the day, I mean, we could be looking at one of the best comebacks in stealth game history. I really think that this could be amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people worried when Hitman decided to do a reboot, but it's absolutely fantastic. And if Ubisoft do something similar, this could be incredible. Absolutely incredible. And yeah, I'm nervous, but I'm also excited for what's to come. But if this is done correctly, wow. I'm trying not to get too excited thinking about it. I'm trying. This could be amazing. Stay away from all of the loot box shit. We don't want it. We don't need it. Just make a good game. Just a good game. And we'll all be happy. Chaos Theory never had loot boxes. It didn't have any extra crap in it. That was just a well-built game that everyone loved, and that's all we need. We don't need anything extra. Unless we were getting some bonus missions, which I wouldn't cry about. But just normal sandboxy levels with multiple approach, and have it slowed down a bit more. because there was a lot of people that were kind of not too happy with like the super fast parkour in Blacklist. I didn't mind speeding things up a little bit, but in terms of like really thinking about how to get through certain areas, you don't want this to be a run and gun. We don't want no mark and execute. We want to get penalised for playing sloppy, because that's what a true stealth game does. That will, penalise you for leaving bodies out in the open. We really want to be thinking strategic with these kind of games, because that's what makes a good stealth game. Main missions, optional missions, and the rest that go along with it, like don't be getting seen, don't get caught by cameras, don't leave bodies out in the open, don't set off any alarms. These are all of the things that make a stealth game great, and that's what this game needs now. We don't need any of the extra shit. I'm praying that this could be the game that brings back Splinter Cell. I really do. And like I say, when it came to Hitman rebooting, I bet there was a lot of people worried. That worked out fine. Game was fantastic. The whole trilogy is fantastic. And Splinter Cell could definitely be the next thing. But time will tell. I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I try not to get my hopes up too high. We will see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. We'll see what happens. Everyone take it easy. Geeky out.